All right, so I believe this is recording. I believe everything should be working. Just to introduce myself, my name is Osman Afalabi, 24 years old, Houston, Texas. Just to keep things pretty short and simple, what I'm here to do is I'm here to share my thoughts and ideas on the Forex market. I am not here to give any advice. I am here to get funded in front of anybody's eyes who will be watching this from day one. So whenever I do get funded, God willing, and I'm trying to get funded by risking only 0.5 to 1% per trade, nothing crazy. I'm not here to be one of those guys who tells you can flip $100 to $5,000 overnight. I like to keep things real. So that's what I'm here to do. So I am going to share my screen and we're going to get started, and we're just going to start taking a look at the Forex markets. I keep my charts simple. I keep my ideas simple. I don't really look at too many things since I am in America. I really only focus mainly on dollar pairs. So this is how I begin all my trades. So like I said, I trade the dollar and I trade things related to the dollar. So your USD, AUD USD, USD Swiss franc, GBP USD, but not so much. USD CAD, USD JPY. GBP JPY I don't trade too often, but that is a very moving pair. So since I am a dollar trading person, before I take a look at the markets, I'm going to look at what the dollar is doing. Would only make sense. So I have some things marked up already, but since we're doing this video fresh, I'm gonna go ahead and delete everything. So it's not the beginning of a new week. It's Wednesday, but usually when I start the new week, I like to start on the weekly chart and see how the weekly candle closed. So we're on the dollar, we're on the DXY, right? So I'm gonna point out the obvious. We see that price look like it broke the structure here. And it looked like the possibility of a downtrend could have happened. Might say should have happened, but I'm not here to say what could and what should have happened. But after this break of structure we've seen in the past weeks, price has completely overtaken this. So to say this is a bearish structure, I really wouldn't say that. So to get more clarity, what I'm going to do is I'll look at the monthly chart. And when you look at the monthly chart, you can kind of see that price came down here, but never really just closed below. What am I looking for? Looking for this rectangle right here. So, price came here, but it never really closed below. It just kind of came in this general area. So it's interesting because looking at the weekly chart, you could kind of say this is a bearish chart. But looking at the monthly chart, it makes a complete difference. You could kind of say that all price did was a liquidity move down here to take people out and just shoot back up. But if you ask me if the dollar was bullish or bearish, I would lean more towards the bullish side just because this break of structure right here and a classic potential retest. So if we drew a fib maybe from here to here, you can see that price never crossed below the 618 and it just kind of touched below the 50%. But if you want to draw it from that first bullish candle, it's about the same thing. So we see price never came below the 618 right here. So realistically, it was never really bearish to begin with. So you can go ahead and delete that though. Go ahead and delete this fib. Okay, so we'll go ahead and delete this. So we know, so now we have a clear picture of what the DXY is doing, right? So now let's go ahead and go to the daily chart. You can see price made that move up here, and price kind of retraced. And now, are we in a bullish or are we in a bearish chart? You know, it may still be just a tad bit early today, right? But you know, we have the structure right here, and then we have the structure right here. Then we also have the structure right here that we see, you know, price came, price fell, price came, price fell. So you could call this a level of support. I mean, it happened on the daily chart, so I feel like you would have to respect it, right? So will price come over here and start to drop, or will it break above here and make that next move up here? You know, that's something we'd have to wait on. And I'm not here to say what price is or isn't going to do. I just like to react. So couple options. So is DXY bullish or bearish? You know, it's a little hard to say. It's a little hard to say because price can. So let me go ahead and delete this. Let's say you're on the bearish market, right? Let's say you're bearish and you're looking for more sales and you drew, what's going on? Let's say you were a seller and you were looking for ways to get into the market on more sales, right? You know, classic, you would draw your fib from, you're looking for sales, so you would draw your fibs from top to bottom, right? And you could say that, you know, 236 rejection maybe to the downside, 382 level to the downside, and your 50% level to the downside, right? So if you were looking at it from a bearish perspective, there's still a couple of levels that you could realistically still sell this from. And that's why I feel like if you wanted to go bullish, it would make more sense for this 382 level to get completely broken before you said that the dollar was just bullish. So that's how I feel about the dollar. So is the dollar bullish or bearish? After all I said, I just don't know, right? Because, you know, can this happen? And then all the way to the top? That's possible. Can it break this? That's possible, right? But can this also happen? Now price just starts to fall right back and go back, right? That can also happen. So that's where price action comes in, right? So that's how we feel about the dollar. Gold, I'm not really gonna look at gold today just because today is my first video. But with the knowledge that we know about the dollar, right? We take that knowledge and we apply that knowledge to different charts. So here we got Euro USD, right? This is just stuff that I had going before. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. I'm gonna go ahead and start at the weekly chart again. So what do we see with the dollar? I mean, Euro USD, clear downtrend, right? Clear retracement. So this is not bearish anymore. This is most definitely bullish. But what is the overall trend? Is it bearish? Is it bullish? You know, and these last couple of weeks was definitely bearish, right? Even after the break of this level, right? You know, a lot of people were most definitely looking for maybe retracements over here, looking to continue to buy back. But if we take our fib level, and this is a weekly fib, and we draw it over here, we see that price came and we traced 61.8% of it to the T almost. So I feel like this is just an advantage of taking a look at the weekly chart, at the monthly chart, and getting a clearer understanding and not being, I guess, quote unquote, fooled by the market, if that's the term, you want to use. My mouse is kind of tripping. Right, 61.8, right? Price came above the 61.8, peaked above it a little bit, right, and immediately fell. So I would say that's the Euro USD is in a current downtrend market, right? But it's right at this 50% level, right? So is it going to break this 50% level? Is it going to break that and keep trending down? Or are we going to get some type of bounce back off this 50% level, just like last time, right? So we have that knowledge on the weekly, right? So we can delete that and go to the daily chart, right? Fix that up a little bit. I'll put that right there. So here was now, do you want to buy or sell right now? I wouldn't say you want to buy or sell. I wouldn't say you want to do either of that right now, right? Just because I feel like that move already, I'm not going to say it's finished, but I feel like the time to get in on that move was either, around here, when it retraced back here, or even around here. I feel like the last time to get in was literally around here when price was here, fell, here, fell. Here it came one more time and then fell, right? Because if I enter the sell right now, right, I'd be entering the sell to here. And anything can happen from here, right? I don't know if it's going to go back up. I don't know if it's going to keep selling, right? So with the Euro USD, it's a patience thing. And that's what these Forex markets are. It's patience. And, patience is the name of the game. So is price going to come here, immediately shoot back up, right? Immediately come back up. Whatever, is it going to come back? Is it going to bounce back? And is the uptrend going to start, right? Because this move was retraced 61.8% of it, right? But are the bears going to hold, or are the bulls going to step back in and start buying this market again, right? Or is the market going to come here? Is it going to break this level of structure? And are we going to go to the next level of structure? And then, bam, 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 whatever. Patience is the name of the game. So price action is what rules all. So, if price comes here, start to see rejection, maybe around here, you can get in to here. Price break structure. If you can get that retracement to here, here, then if price can break here, then you got it for sure. And price doesn't do this exactly, but we know price does do things of this nature. So, like I said, I'm making this video kind of at an odd time just because the markets are kind of in a odd place at the moment, but markets will move, things will happen. So trying to catch something that's not necessarily there for me would be a lost cause. So that's how I feel about Euro USD at the moment. AUD USD next, right? AUD USD. We can go ahead and delete that. Let's go ahead and start on the weekly chart again, right? So what do we see on the weekly chart? I would call, so right, if I was just kind of breaking down the AUD USD, right, I would say price came here, right? I forgot. No, because that wouldn't work. But okay, so no, because that's just going a little bit too far back. Let's just go ahead and focus on it now. So this happened in 2020. Price came here, but this seems maybe like almost a complete 100% retracement. But within that, price was still never able to technically break the structure. So did price ever go? Was AUD USD ever a bullish chart? Yes, most definitely. Because how can you ignore all this? These are all buys. But the structure to me from here to here that still technically remain the same, and that is still a downtrend, right? Because not the biggest on trend lines, but we can see that it's kind of been in that little, just that little trend where it's never really just It's never made that clear higher high. So, right, knowing that, what do we do now, right? So let's take this to the daily chart, right? So if I was looking at a take profit where I'd be looking to maybe get out of the trade, it'd be clearly right here, right? Next level of support, and this last level of support on the daily, if you want to call it support, but the last structure was just broken, right? So where can I get in on this market? That's kind of hard to say, right? Because if you drew, your fib from the last move, quote unquote, right? Take this to 4 hour now, right? Where it's somewhere I would get in on the trade now, right? 236. Maybe, to me, not the best trade, but this really is where I would be hoping price could make a comeback to and not break above that, but also have the 50% level, right? But so now we can just go ahead and delete this fib just so it's not cluttering the space, right? So I'm bearish, right? You got, go ahead and delete this too. It's not necessary. So where can we look for sales? You could target this area. If price comes here, you can maybe take a sell back down all the way to here. But if price broke above here, I would be looking for price to come here, and I would be looking for some type of price action to tell me that the bears are still in control, and I would be looking for another sell here. And then there's also the 50% level here, which if this level breaks and it goes here, I would be looking for another potential, move here. But just because price comes to these levels just doesn't mean I'm just going to straight up buy or sell, right? This is where price action comes in handy. So kind of sucks because, for me right now, there's not necessarily just, I can't just, I personally couldn't just come in here and like find a trade for the day, like, oh, price came here real quick, let me just see if I can get in on like an intraday trade. I've been there. I'm not saying it doesn't work. That's just not how I do things. So literally the only thing for me would be to leave it alone until what I'm looking for starts to form, right? And that's just the name of the game. USDCXF. I don't really trade this pair all that much. I don't look at it that crazy. I mean, it's a dollar related pair, so I look at it, but there's a lot going on in USDCHF. I honestly don't even like the way it looks right now, so I would honestly just move it to the bottom. I wouldn't even look at it right now. It doesn't interest me too much. Sorry, let's go to USD CAD. What else to look at? I think maybe I will stop at USD CAD just because, to be honest, I would say these, and then check that off. These are the pairs that I most definitely look at the most. USD JPY, I just haven't been able to catch it just because it's been so far gone for me personally for a long time now. But these are the pairs that I'm kind of just sticking to. And I guess with that, when stuff isn't happening, I'm just out of the markets. But these are just what I stick to. These are just what I know. So this is just what I do. So got USD CAD, right? Go ahead and we can take to the weekly chart, right? Let's look at the monthly chart. So what happened on the monthly chart, right? Clear rejection. Monthly chart, right? Clear resistance over here, right? So it's price bullish, it's price bearish. Literally, it's been in a, wow, that is kind of crazy. On the monthly chart, though, it's been back and forth in a range since 2015. Just think about that. Let's think about that. So it's kind of in a gray area right now, right? It's literally in the middle of the middle, right? So if I was going to trade dollar CAD, right? I mean, you know, that's kind of I'll fix that up maybe on the weekly if we want the daily. But knowing what I know, right? One time, two time, three time, right? I'm gonna assume that price is trying to find its way all the way back up here to back up here at least, right? That's just what I'm gonna assume. And that's just on the monthly. Let's take it to the weekly now, right? Go ahead and go ahead and fix this a little bit more. And like I said, I'm not trend lines don't do anything other than make things look better for you. So do not be fooled by trend lines, and don't think just because price did not respect your trend line that you were wrong. So it's kind of have this little flag shape USD CAD has been forming, right? So to go like, you know, to go super, super bullish on the chart, you know, and these are just things I'm marking down on the weekly before I kind of dive in on the daily, right? So we have that, right? So now we have these levels on the weekly that I personally marked up that I like, right? Because I saw on the weekly that price has rejected here a couple of times, and I believe this is important. You know, this is daily rejection. You know, you don't want to ignore this. This is daily rejection. Price came, it fell. Price came, price fell. Price came, price fell. And then price came back to that area, back to that resistance area as well, right? So you don't want to ignore that. So price is currently heading up back to this area, right? Now, would I buy this chart right now? I most definitely wouldn't buy this chart right now just because I wasn't here during this time. And for me to buy right now, you know, my stop loss would technically have to be like somewhere all the way down here. And that just doesn't make sense for me to do. So how am I approaching USD CAD? Simple. Two things that could happen, right? Prices eventually, well, I'm not gonna say it has to come here, but we got this thing tweaking, but that's all good. I'm not gonna say price has to come here, but you know, price is either gonna come here and make a reaction, or price is either gonna just never come here, which will mean price just keeps falling. All right. I'm gonna assume price is gonna come here, right? Two things can happen, right? Two things can happen, right? You can price can come, break a structure clean, some sort of retest here, you know, and then you know something like that, right? Picture perfect, right? You know, we wish it could always be like that, right? But it's not. It's or price is going to come. Let's go. Price is going to come to this area. Price is going to come to this area. Price action is going to happen. You know, might do a rejection, might come back here, might give you a double top, might not, might might make a higher low, and you know, price might start to fall. I don't know. I don't know what price is going to do, but this is why we be patient. This is why we wait on price action, and this is why we trade smart. So, like I said, this is me trying to pass a Forex challenge. I am trying to get funded. I think I am going to do the $10,000 challenge. I might make a video of me just entering the challenge just so people know that I'm not out here BSing. And yeah, I'm trying to trade smart. I'm trying to trade right. And I'm trying to show people that this is real. But it is real in the sense that if I do this, I don't have to do it and turn $100 into $1,000 overnight. I can take $10,000, but be only trying to lose $100 at most per trade. And I know some people don't want to hear that. $10,000, you're only trying to lose $100 per trade, but that's 1%. And real traders aren't risking no more than 1% per trade. And that's what I aim to be. That's what I aspire to be. And that is why I'm making these videos, also to hold me more accountable. Yeah, so look forward to anybody subscribing. I look forward to anybody leaving the comments, good or bad. I don't mind them. I guess I'll make a Telegram and Discord in the near future. So if these videos do well, if anybody ever wants to interact, if anybody ever wants to get on Zoom and give their thoughts and ideas, we can most definitely do that. Yeah, man. First time ever making a video, man. So we will shall see. Thank you guys and be blessed. Thank God. Thank y'all. Yeah.